With Mission Impossible Fallout, Tom Cruise is officially back in action and at the top of his game. After movies like the Mummy reboot and the Jack Reacher sequel failed to generate much interest or sell many tickets, the latest movie in the Mission Impossible series signals a return to form for the actor. So much has changed about the movie industry since the first Mission Impossible movie, but I would argue, as much as Tom Cruise needs Mission Impossible, the franchise needs him even more. Let me explain. Last summer, when Tom Cruise broke 2 bones in his ankle during the shooting of Mission Impossible Fallout, it was an accident that could have happened to anyone. Video footage of the accident leaked, showing Tom Cruise leaping between 2 buildings, then hobbling on the roof with his broken ankle. And it seemed like an instant metaphor for his fading star power. More Twitter accounts, YouTube channels, and entertainment websites than I could count said, at that time, that Cruise, at age 55, was foolish to keep trying those stunts, and that he was fighting a losing battle against his own dimming stardom. But now, 1 year later, Mission Impossible Fallout is not only a huge hit and the best Mission Impossible film, it's also one of the best action movies of the past couple of decades. It seems like every time we're tempted to count Cruise out for jumping up and down on Oprah's couch, or for starring in the dismal The Mummy reboot that killed the, quote, dark universe before it even started, he finds a way back. And while I could talk about some of his recent and still very underrated films, like Edge of Tomorrow, for a long time, there's no denying that in the modern era, the Mission Impossible films are what moviegoers and critics seem to like most from Cruise. Not too long ago, the movie industry counted on A-list actors like Will Smith, Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, and yes, Tom Cruise, to draw crowds to theaters based on their star power alone. I don't have to tell you that that's not how the industry works anymore. Instead, we watch other people react to trailers on YouTube and break down movie commercials frame by frame. And therefore, today's audiences seem to be much more loyal to franchises and certain properties than certain actors. Perhaps Mission Impossible's greatest stunt is its ability to bank on the success of its leading man. Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt, and Ethan Hunt is Tom Cruise. We've seen him in 6 movies, and we still don't know much about Ethan Hunt or what he's really like. But we do know he's Tom Cruise, and we like that. With rare exception, perhaps no other actor working today is so linked to a franchise. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want a Mission Impossible movie without Tom Cruise. It's hard to imagine the film series existing without him. No one talks about this now, yet do you remember those rumors that Cruise was going to be replaced by the younger and less expensive Jeremy Renner, whose character Brant joined the IMF in Ghost Protocol, and then he took up more action sequences in Rogue Nation? Well, that plan, if it ever really existed, appears to have been abandoned, and Jeremy Renner doesn't even show up in Fallout. And honestly, I doubt you hardly noticed, but you'd have missed Tom Cruise for sure. Even in a movie with a star-studded cast, including Henry Cavill, Angela Bassett, and Alec Baldwin, Cruise and his signature death-defying stunts are entirely the big draw for Fallout. Sure, Tom Cruise needs the Mission Impossible franchise to dust himself off when some of his other movies don't do well, but the Mission Impossible franchise needs Tom Cruise even more. Way more. For over 20 years now, Ethan Hunt's jaw-dropping antics have become the hallmark of a Mission Impossible movie. Sure, there are solid performances, interesting storylines, smart direction, big heists, and major twists, but Cruise's stunts in this series have gained almost mythic stature among fans. It seems today there's almost no one who can equal him in terms of being an A-list actor doing his own stunts. There's the literal cliffhanging at the start of Mission Impossible 2, or when he's clinging to the side of a plane as it takes off at the beginning of Rogue Nation. My favorite stunt comes from 2011's Ghost Protocol, when he scaled the tallest building in Dubai, hovering 2,700 feet above the ground to create one of the most dizzying and thrilling action sequences ever filmed. Today, Tom Cruise is like a modern Harold Lloyd, really hanging there, risking his life to add real tension and a manic sense of dread in a way that no computer-generated effects could achieve. And in Fallout, he continues to up the stakes. When Cruise does an honest-to-God Halo, high-altitude, low-opening jump out of a plane against a dusky background, it is breathtaking. And more so when you find out it's a stunt he had to perform over 100 times to complete the sequence. Cruise's stunt work plunges us into the vortex of the action in a way CGI and your average stuntman, with all due respect, could never do. For another scene in Fallout, Cruise learned to fly a helicopter solo and perform a tricky nosedive, all while operating a camera. And call me crazy, but there's just something about knowing that that's really Tom Cruise doing all that. I mean, wow. These stunts have become central to Cruise's identity as an actor. And in Mission Impossible Fallout, they lend a welcome integrity to the action, letting us believe what we're seeing, a rare sensation in modern movies. We might be in an era of post-movie stardom, without many marquee actors, but Cruise's performances and stunts are almost a way of facing down the death of movie stardom itself. We've come to expect Cruise to do crazy, death-defying things in these movies, things that seem impossible for almost anyone to do, or even survive, let alone an A-list Hollywood actor. Cruise remains an artist, daredevil, entertainer, and while Ethan Hunt battles all sorts of international threats with the Mission Impossible series, Tom Cruise has battles of his own. He manages to battle the prevalence of CGI, the stigma of sequels, and the fading relevance of big-name actors. And again, with Fallout, he wins all these battles, just by taking a risky leap to keep it real.
Go, 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 go! What are you waiting for? I'm jumping out a window! Oh, sorry. Good luck.
And the coolest thing is that he makes it look easy, when it should be, yeah, I'll say it, impossible.